What's going on, world? It's your boy Steve Dab 317 back with another reaction video. If you're just now tuning in, today and today only, I am doing a 24 Hours of Tom video series. This is kind of my gift to the Hog fam. Listen, every hour on the hour today, I'll be dropping a video. This is number 10. If you haven't already checked out the other videos, I've got a playlist made out as well. You can go through there and get caught up with my reactions. But anyways, hit that bell notification, hit that subscribe button. With no further ado, let's jump right into Anarchy video number 10. Let's go.
I got away from all the chains they tried to lock me up with. I wasn't made for 9 to 5s or working in construction. I never fit the system. My description is the suspect. I gave him all the finger, then I rode into the sunset. And I don't want to be promoted. I don't need to raise a buck. And I don't want the Christmas bonus or the new company truck. Keep that silly uniform I had to wash and dry. I'm not a brick that's in your wall, but you're a thorn that's in my side. I was born to not comply with all the orders and defy all of the horrors I survived. I feel like normal's a disguise, and I don't want an application or a half-an-hour lunch or a cubicle to work a job that I don't even love. My veins are full of gasoline, my motor's made of stolen parts. I've tightened all the nuts and bolts, but I don't want to work on cars. The system's trying to smother me, but anarchy is in my heart. They slash my tires and cut my brakes. I'll crash now if it even starts. My boss don't even know that I make music he would care about. He thinks I'm just some stoner stacking boxes in a warehouse. I got dreams and goals and things I'm told are worth to keep aspiring. When music is my full-time job, then nobody can fire me. But right now it ain't hiring. My groceries expiring. My rent is due. My phone is off. The extra shifts are tiring. I know I'm made for more than what my resume reflects. The government is trying to dumb me down with guns and booze and sex. I'm not a salesman. I couldn't sell beer in the prohibition. I've never been the type to make a living off commission. I'm no good at wearing suits or doing taxes for a business. I want to count some money, not the hours and the minutes. I'm not a carpenter, a lawyer, a doctor. I'm not a waiter or a...
All right. And you know what? Well, he's close to the end, but I'll go ahead. I'll say something. I'll go to the end, then I'll double back. But basically, I think it's cool, because a lot of people don't fit the mold, if I may. It's oftentimes they want people to have a cookie cutter, way of life, or even a cookie cutter look, or whatever it may be. They want people to fit in these nice little neat boxes. And like when people are outside of those boxes, right? When people think differently, when people are standing on top of those boxes to get a broader viewpoint, oftentimes people they don't like that. But a lot of times people just don't understand it. And I imagine trying to make it in the rap industry, especially if you're not defaulting to the mainstream, like you mentioned, the cars, the money, the females, if you're not defaulting to those mainstream things that they're constantly pushing, then it's incredibly difficult to build traction. If you're not backed by one of these massive companies who are dumping millions and millions into promoting you just so they can own you, it's that much more difficult, So it's like, even looking at his journey and where he's made it thus far, it makes it that much more impressive, taking that into consideration as well. So anyways, let me let him finish this out. I'll talk a little more, then we'll wrap it up.
A teacher or a cop or a plumber, good at wearing suits or doing taxes for a business. I want to count some money, not the hours and the minutes. I'm not a carpenter, a lawyer, a doctor. I'm not a waiter or a teacher or a cop or a plumber. I'm not a tradesman or an architect, an engineer, a pilot or a mailman. I'm something that don't fit into their perfect little game plan.
Like, if you've been following my channel and this is why I'm stopping it. If you have been following my channel for a while, I know I've given reference to the fact that I do a lot of Tom MacDonald reactions because I personally legitimately enjoy his music. I enjoy the message even more. But one of the things you would notice is that oftentimes I'll stop one of these videos and I'll say something, and then like literally the next bar, within the next couple of bars, he'll essentially say something that verifies that I was kind of spot on with my thinking and things like that. Just kind of verifying that in many ways we think about things and we take the same approach to various situations. So anyways, what I said a moment ago, then what he just said made me think about that. So
doctor, I'm not a waiter or a teacher or a cop or a plumber. I'm not a tradesman or an architect, an engineer, a pilot or a mailman. I'm something that don't fit into their perfect little game plan. I'm me. And they can try to kill my spirit with overtime when the barn burns, but if there's one thing I ain't scared of, it is long days and hard work. So they can pay themselves $1 while I only make a cent, but I will stack up all my pennies till they're higher than the fence. Then I'll climb them like a ladder and jump to the other side. Spend the nickels that I made on a taxi or hitch a ride. Bet they never thought they'd see the day I left them to survive and use the system that they built to leave their system all behind.
So let's let's talk about that system. It's an interesting system to say the least, and the way it breaks it down oftentimes, and this is not every organization, but oftentimes I think the goal is, and keep in mind that I am an owner of multiple businesses, so I do try to look at things from both perspectives, but oftentimes as a business owner when it comes to hiring employees, it's about finding that sweet spot. That sweet spot is oftentimes when you pay employees enough that they'll get up and come to work, that they'll be motivated, that you can push them a bit and get them to work hard, but not so much that they can go pursue their dreams, right? Because I would say most people, their dream isn't to work this 9 to 5 for the next however many years, and that's not a lot of people's dream. People have other things they want to do, whether it's rapping, whether it's starting their own business, whether it's right. But if you pay somebody such a high salary that they can put a lot of money aside, then it increases the likelihood of that person leaving. So I think with business owners, oftentimes it's about trying to find that sweet spot. And likewise, there are just some great. There's some great business owners / managers, whatnot in the world who want you to be your absolute best. I think they're more of the exception than a rule, but they are definitely out here. Individuals who, okay, you want to get here. I understand you're using this for a temporary step. How can I help you? What tools or skills can I give you to help you get to that next level? And when you run across the individuals like that, like you can tell that they care. Real quick, and I'll get off this tangent, but years ago, I was employed at an Amazon warehouse, and there was a manager there by the name of Brian Jordan. And you'll want to hear this story, so don't skip over this. I know it's the end of the video, but listen, there was a manager there by the name of Brian Jordan. And I was, and I mean this as humble as possible, but I was really, really good at what I did there. I was in great shape. I just love sweating. I love working out. And I wanted to learn how to do everything in the facility. So I learned how to pick merchandise. I learned how to rebend it. I learned how to package it. So pretty much I could do the majority of the process on my own. And I had login credentials for all the different departments. So when, let's say, an order didn't get picked and it needed to be on the truck or something like that, and it was crunch time, if Brian came over to me and asked me to get something knocked out for him, I'll do it, no problem. And it was one of those, he knew he could count on me. He knew I'll do it extremely fast. But the other managers, they could never get me to work like that. And they used to grind their gears. They'd be like, well, if Brian asked you to do something. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I wasn't working. It's just I wasn't taking it to that next level. And they couldn't figure out why. But the reality is, if I had a day where I was just off, not feeling well, whatever it was, if they came around, the first thing they'll say is, hey, your numbers aren't where they're supposed to be. You're not making rate, or you need to pick it up. That's the extent of the conversation. I kid you not. I had one day where I don't remember what was going on, but Brian, I remember he came to my station, and he's like, hey, Steve, how's it going? You feeling okay? I was like, yeah, I'm decent, just a little bit off. And it was in the summer. We didn't have air conditioning units back then. He was like, hey, do you want me to, why don't I just run your station for a few minutes and you go in the break room, you get some ice cream or something cold to drink for a little while. And it's as small as that was, that let me know that he cared more about me than a person than solely, I got to make these numbers. I got to get these runs out. I got to get these items on the truck, get these packages delivered. So yeah, when he needed something, I would bust my butt to make certain, do everything within my power to make sure that it essentially made him look good. Make sure that he made all his all his runs that he was supposed to get done. So and I enjoyed doing it because I knew that he was there and he legitimately cared about me as a person, you know. And the backstory: the break room is the only place that had AC. So the entire warehouse didn't have AC, but in each of the two break rooms. So went to the break room, got whatever I got, cooled off, chilled for a minute, and I didn't abuse it. I wasn't going forever, but came back a few minutes later, and I felt good. And I don't know if it was cooling off in that break, or if it was knowing that I had the opportunity to work with an individual who genuinely cared about me and my well being. So like from that day on, and that's just the first instance that comes to mind. But like there's been other things that he's done where like you can like he was one of those managers who like if something spilled on the floor, if some ridiculous mess, oil or something sticky or something spilled, he's gonna get on his hands and knees and scrub with you. You know what I mean? He was just that type of person. So I always admired that. And with me and running my businesses, I always try to be that type of individual as well. A person who doesn't feel like anything is beneath me. Everything that I ask anyone to do, I make certain that I can do it myself, and I'm still willing to do it myself. But anyways, that is that. I'm gonna go and get out of here because, as you know, within an hour, I've got another video dropping. Steve Dab 317, and I'm out. Peace.